Welcome back to Thai Town Reviews. I'm Steve. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully, you join me for some of my other videos. If you haven't, welcome. But if you have, welcome back, of course. Today, continuing my little Thanksgiving theme I have going this month, I have decided to rank whatever Thanksgiving movies. Now, I realize one of these for sure people are going to say that's not a Thanksgiving movie, and that would be Pocahontas. Growing up, the school that I went to from first through fourth or fifth grade, every year, the Friday before Thanksgiving break, we watched Pocahontas. Whatever teacher I had, we always watched Pocahontas after doing the whole learning about Thanksgiving, why we celebrate it, and all that stuff. So I've always associated that film with Thanksgiving. So, yes, it's getting ranked. Another thing that's on here, Homeward Bound. I looked, there are a lot of results that came up. People consider this a movie that they like to watch during Thanksgiving because it ends at Thanksgiving. Yes, it starts midsummer, maybe towards the end of summer, something like that. The movie ends on Thanksgiving Day. So I've included it. It is a movie that I've always watched in the fall. It's a movie I've always enjoyed around the Thanksgiving time, just like Pocahontas. So I included it. The rest of the movies, I kind of had a strict, it had to be something that took place either on the holiday, the week of the holiday, and the holiday has to be discussed or talked about in some way, shape, or form. Or I would prefer a form of Thanksgiving dinner scene, even if it's short. So, with those stipulations, I did leave out Rocky. I am wearing it here, a little representation here. But I did leave out Rocky. Yes, there is a scene from Thanksgiving Day where Polly ends up throwing the turkey into the alley or whatever. I left that movie off because it, just like Homeward Bound, it takes place throughout a long period of time while Rocky is training, leading up to him fighting Apollo Creed either. I can't remember if it's Christmas Eve or New Year's Day, something like that. Where it's right in there. Christmas comes up as well. I haven't watched Rocky in a couple years, so I apologize if I got that a little off. So I left Rocky off, and if I should have left it on, put it in the comments, let me know, and I will add it in next year. Why not? If there's a movie that I did leave out that you think I should have added in, as long as it fits the criteria of Thanksgiving is discussed, it's around the holiday, preferably the week of the holiday. But if I left it out, please let me know. Please put it in the comments and I'll try to add it in next year. Okay, there are some movies down here that I've never seen before. Thanksgiving, I've never seen that. I'd never seen Freebirds. I had never seen the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. I had never seen Pilgrim. It's one that I've always wanted to watch, but I don't know, never made time for it. I always get caught up in trying to go places and do things, and I never got around to it. It has a great cast. I knew it had a great cast, but I just never got around to watching it. Dead Meat said it was good, so I wanted to make time for it, and I just never did. This year I made time for it for the sake of this ranking. Another movie I'd never seen is Dutch. Now, I've heard of it before, but I got confused and thought it was a Christmas movie. And so there, with all the plethora of Christmas movies that there are and the ones that I like to watch every year, I just never got around to it. Well, after talking with my buddy Jason, he told me it is not. It is a common misconception, but it is actually a Thanksgiving movie. So I checked it out, decided I liked it enough that I wanted to do a review for it because I have a lot of things to say. Maybe not a lot, but I have things to say. And I enjoyed it. I really did. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, also a first time watch for me. If you notice, there are one, two, three, four, five, six, half of this list is new watches, half of it is stuff I've seen before or seen several times before. All right. Some of these movies will be ranked higher than others. That's how rankings work. It doesn't mean I hate some of the movies. Some of the movies I did not like. But that does not mean I necessarily hate certain films. You will know the movie on this list that I absolutely despise because it is actually going first. So, but before we get into that, our tiers, we have the top tier, Feast Mode. Little play on words of beast mode, obviously. These are where the top movies are going to go. These are the films that I not only liked, I loved. We have solid side dishes. These are movies that are really good, but I didn't like them as much as the ones in feast mode. Why is it at Thanksgiving? This covers food that you would normally see, food, dessert, whatever it might be, that you might see at a family's Thanksgiving or maybe your own, and you're like, that's not Thanksgiving food. Why is that here? It's my meh category. And then this one, the bottom tier, even the pilgrims wouldn't eat that. Now, everyone knows or should know the whole thing with Thanksgiving is, the story goes pilgrims showing thanks to the Native American tribe that helped show them how to cultivate the land, how to survive in the winter, and how to make it through. So, point is, they were starving, they were desperate. So the thought behind it is, even the pilgrims wouldn't eat that. So first movie on the ranking, Thanksgiving, little Thanksgiving horror feature. Drew, if you're watching this, I can't believe I let you talk me into doing this movie. He said it's worth it. He's a liar as far as what I like and what he likes. That goes, Pilgrims wouldn't even eat. That is the worst movie I've ever tried to watch. I only watched 15 minutes of it. I turned it off. I will not watch more of it. I will never finish it. I don't know why there's three of them. There may be four, but there's for sure three. Don't know why there's three of them. That's insane. People that like them, please tell me why. Now, I'm not being ugly. I'm not trying to be rude. Please tell me why, because it's not good. It's not. You can't be a bad movie and have unwatchable characters. Pick a lane. Either fix your script enough to where the movie's not as terrible, but you have bad written characters. Another movie on this list fits that. Or fix your characters and have good characters in a bad movie. One or the other. Pick a lane, please. But this one, neither lane is good. Pilgrims wouldn't eat that. Free birds. So, real fast, I want to stress I'm trying not to let recency bias affect my rankings. There are movies I haven't seen on this list that are first time watches for me, and I really enjoyed some of them. Makes you want to put them way higher than they need to be, but recency bias, I'm trying not to let recency bias affect anything. One movie's going to be very high as opposed to others that I've seen for the first time, but I promise I will not put it in the top three. That was my compromise. It can go in the top five. Recency bias can allow it to go into top five, but I will not put it above any of my top three. But, anyways, Free Birds is one of those movies. It goes up to solid side dishes. It is a movie that I ignored for a long time because the trailers didn't do anything for me. But I sat down and I watched it this year. I enjoyed it. It was funny. A cute little kids movie. Owen Wilson's in it. Him voice acting is gold for me. I don't know if that's just nostalgia from growing up with Cars and all that. But Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Robin, don't hate me. It goes above Thanksgiving, but even the Pilgrims wouldn't eat that. This was the most boring thing I have ever watched. It's not Thanksgiving bad, but it is boring. There's nothing special about it. Like the Christmas special, the Great Pumpkin, all these different specials that they do, there's something magical that, has to do with said holiday or whatever's going on in the special. This is not good. It was boring. I don't know what it's missing. I don't know how you fix it, but it's boring. I'll probably never watch it again. Next up is Pocahontas. Pocahontas goes to solid side dishes. I like Pocahontas. I know that's controversial to say nowadays, but I always enjoyed it as a kid, and I'm not going to stop enjoying it just because I do know the inaccuracies with it. I do know the problematic stuff with John Smith and Pocahontas. I understand, I understand, I understand. However, this is a movie that I loved watching when I was a kid. The songs are still great. The movie is still entertaining to watch, and it's not boring. So it's going to go there. I'm sorry. If you don't like it, I understand. Four Brothers, straight to feast mode. This is really your typical something bad happens to a family member, and Mark Wahlberg shows up and kicks butt. That, it's one of those, it's a revenge story. It's family oriented. Obviously, it's called Four Brothers. It's about four adopted brothers who come to find out what happened to their mom. Their mom gets murdered. Anyways, come to find out it's like this intertwined deal with a gangster in town, and it's good. You should watch it. It's one of those movies that I plan to do a review for, but I just didn't do it this year because I was doing son-in-law, and then of course I'm doing Dutch, and I didn't want to super overstuff November this year. So be on the lookout for that in the future. Pilgrim. Dead Meat steered me wrong again. They steered me wrong with things called Lighthouse. Was not very good. And then I've been putting off watching this because of Lighthouse being so bad. I know it's not made by the same guy or anything, but just going off of their recommendations, normally they didn't steer me wrong, but with Lighthouse they did. And so with this, I was kind of being a little weary of it. And weary is right. Why is it at Thanksgiving? Now, is the cast great? Yes. Are the villains, the Pilgrims, are they great? Yes. Main characters, all of them. Maybe the little brother, the youngest member of the family, maybe he is the most redeemable or most likable, but you can't have your family being attacked by these pilgrims trying to force you to be thankful for what you have and teach you these lessons forcefully and violently. You can't have that family all be insufferable. They all were. The stepmom was, the dad was, the oldest sister was. It's not a bad movie though. That's the problem. It's not bad, but the characters are written poorly because they're insufferable. So it goes in Why Is It at Thanksgiving? Sin of a Woman, up here to feast mode. This is probably the best film on this grouping. Overall film, probably the best film. The most poignant stuff is in it. The most heartbreaking stuff is in it. The lessons are most clearly learned in it and most clearly portrayed in it. But it's going to go in my number 2 spot in feast mode under Four Brothers. Al Pacino, fantastic. Everyone else is kind of just in the movie. Al Pacino was rightfully won his Oscar for this role. He's acting so well that some of the best actors in the movie, they're just there. As good as they are in the movie, they're just there. They're left to the side. He did, again, saving it for a review. I'm sorry. Thanksgiving. This is an interesting one. It's going to solid side dishes. I really enjoy it. I've seen it twice. I really enjoy it. I need a fresher watch. I didn't get to it before this ranking, so it's a little unfairly ranked. But I really enjoy it. It's a fun holiday horror film, which I enjoy holiday themed scary films. This one does a great job. The Again, same problem this movie had, where you have the villain who's good, but your main characters that you're supposed to be rooting for, they're almost not as unwatchable as Pilgrim. They're almost unwatchable, though. Some of them are okay, but some of them are almost unwatchable. But you're supposed to be rooting for all of them. The one guy who's supposed to be like this awful, like the one you're rooting for to get got by the killer, he's not even part of the main friend group, which is great. It's fine. But now you have your main friend group where you're rooting for some of them to get got, not because they're bad people, but because they're so poorly written. It's like, just get him off screen. The whole love triangle thing was not needed. They didn't have to do it. They tried to do some tension thing with the love triangle, and I think they changed the ending, which would have made all of that a little bit more worth it to sit through. But had they not changed, I think they changed the ending. I can't prove it, but I think they changed the ending. And had they not done that, if they did, had they not done that, I think I like the group of friends a little bit more. But I don't know. It's just, again, they're not as hard to watch or hard to root for as Pilgrim. That's why it's so much higher than Pilgrim, even though they have the same issues. Okay, Dutch goes feast mode. Now, again, I know what I said, but do not fear. It is not number 3. I promised it wouldn't be that recent. I would keep recency bias out as much as possible. I did not have time to watch it again to see if I still loved it as much, but this film was so good. I don't know if it just caught me off guard, if it really is that good. That's where recency bias comes in. But I promise it's not actually number 3. But it goes up here. This was the one that's going to get me in trouble a little bit. I understand, but it's going here. It's going where it's going, and I'm sorry in advance. Why is it at Thanksgiving? I did not enjoy this movie. John Hughes has so many good movies. This is the first one I've ever watched of his that I did not enjoy. Were there some funny parts? Yes. The comedy was there in a lot of different areas. But I don't know. It's just maybe it's a little too long. Maybe the actors didn't gel really well together because they didn't. My father-in-law is going to be a little disappointed, but it's going here. It's okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like love it either. And I don't even know if I liked it. They got some stuff at the end that feels a little unearned just because I don't know. I need to watch it again, I guess. But recent, even with recency stuff going on up here, I didn't enjoy it. I'll watch it again though. I'll give it another chance and see if it can climb next year. But as of right now, that's where that goes. Son-in-Law, number 2. I'm just kidding. Son-in-law's number 3. Okay. This is one of my favorite holiday comedies. It is the most rewatchable, maybe. I don't know. All 3 of these are really rewatchable for me. This is really long, but even despite how long it is, it's still rewatchable. Son-in-Law is quick to the point. You see the lessons that, each character is supposed to be learning, each side of the story is supposed to be learning. There's a little bit of villainy that you see potential for, but once it actually happens, something that's said or a conversation that's had earlier in the film makes some of the villainy not make sense at the end. I don't know. I'll get into it in my review that I'm doing next week, but that's where it goes. I love this movie. Pauly Shore's hilarious. Everyone else in Rebecca's family, hilarious. Even Theo has some funny moments. But anyways, it goes there. Homeward Bound. Okay, Homeward Bound goes there. I love Homeward Bound. I don't know if it's because I love animals so much. I don't know if it was just one of my favorite movies growing up, and it still touches my heart the way that it did then. And that's hard, when as you grow older, it's hard to have or to find movies that you loved as a kid and still be able to watch them and feel that same joy and that same anguish or that same, tension that you felt when you were a kid watching the movie. And I love it. It's rewatchable as heck. Is it truly a Thanksgiving film? Probably not, but it does end on Thanksgiving Day. So what do you want from me? Will Dutch be higher than it after a couple of rewatches? Probably. When I can throw recency bias out the window, when it's no longer part of the equation, Dutch will be higher. But this is my ranking. So literally, like I've done in the past, first to last goes from left to right. So we have Four Brothers, Son of a Woman, Son-in-Law, Homeward Bound, and Dutch taking first, second, third, fourth, and fifth place. Sixth place would be Thanksgiving. Seventh, Freebirds. Eighth, Pocahontas. Ninth, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. 10th is Pilgrim. 11th, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving taking 12th place. And that was the ranking, guys. Thank you for joining me. Please like, comment, and please subscribe if you haven't. Those of you who have subscribed real fast, thank you for those of you who discovered the channel and are going back and watching some of the older videos. You don't have to watch that first video I did. That was more of a just getting a video out there kind of thing. Little general information about why I did the channel the way I did it, why I named it, what I named it, things like that. Anyways, but all the others, any of my ranking videos, any of my other stuff that has been getting attention because of new viewers coming in and subscribing and checking out the other videos, thank you for doing that. Please continue to do that. And please remember, all this stuff can be remade. I will redo it, try to do it better. Hopefully, this right here is better than any of the Stranger Things stuff, just because faces on camera. But again, thank you all so much. Please subscribe if you haven't. Let me know in the comments what your ranking would be. Let me know what movies I left out that I should put in next year. Thank you all. Have a great Thanksgiving. Goodbye.